Oxford is a lovely place with many beautiful historic buildings and 2 large universities. It is economically thriving and has an attractive environment which provides green lungs into the city. However, these attractions also lead to problems. Oxford's population is growing and needs homes. Oxford is the least affordable city in the UK, with an average house costing more than 16 times the average salary. And homelessness is a greater problem in Oxford than other parts of the country. Some areas of Oxford are amongst the most deprived in England, while others are amongst the wealthiest. Men from the deprived areas, which are shown in red, live on average almost 10 years less than men from the wealthier areas, which is shown in blue. Oxford's residents are second only to Cambridge in their bike use and make good use of public transport. However, almost half of the city's workforce commutes into the city and congestion is a persistent problem. As a result, air quality in Oxford still regularly exceeds legal air quality standards. Oxford has also seen regular flooding. This map shows just how constrained development is in Oxford because of the floodplain. Oxford has a tight green belt, which helps to keep the city attractive but also constrains development. So what is the future of Oxford? Oxford City Council is developing a local plan for how Oxford should change over the next 20 years.
Well, Oxford City, along with the other authorities in Oxfordshire, signed up to the Oxfordshire Growth Deal. This committed the Oxfordshire authorities to deliver 100,000 homes by 2031. We need 1,400 homes a year to meet affordable housing need. We have a policy of 50% affordable housing. So that's 28,000 homes. Is Oxford's is what we need to provide. We can fit in just over 8,500.
Because we're such a constrained city, we need to do our best to find potential sites. We divided the whole city up into sites essentially. We then had reasons for rejecting sites so that we could gradually whittle them down to ones which were most suitable for development. So the reasons for rejection were things like high flood risk in a greenfield area, having biodiversity interest, but we were looking at greenbelt sites as well, so we didn't rule those out. Any which had a less than moderate high impact on the remaining greenbelt and its integrity we took forward.
We've got a policy which is saying that new development, residential development, can be car-free. So the car-free development sites would be those sites which are considered to be sustainable locations. So they're within walking distance of frequent bus service every 15 minutes. They're within walking distance of a shop, and they're also within a controlled parking zone. It's really important. We need to see a reduction in the number of cars moving around our city because we've got issues around congestion, air quality, and if there's less cars going, then public transport becomes more reliable and therefore becomes a much more attractive, realistic alternative.
Policy that I think is particularly come out of this, green network, green infrastructure network, blue infrastructure network, something that's really a fundamental shift in the way that we conceive of green space and blue space in Oxford.
In addition to providing housing and employment land, the plan supports new spires, but only if they're well designed and fit with the rest of the skyline. To maximise the benefits of this development, the plan requires developers to do their best to source materials locally, provide jobs to local people, and pay the Oxford living wage. The plan protects Oxford historic features and green areas. It promotes electric vehicle charging points and requires large developments to provide on-site renewable energy. New hotels and B&Bs will be limited to locations where there is good bus access and where it will not cause any housing to be lost. The Oxford local plan has been based on many studies and much discussion with local residents and experts. An assessment has been made of the plan's environmental, social and economic impacts. The plan will inevitably have some negative impacts on the environment. More areas will become built up, there will be more pressure on green areas, and more water will be required in an area where water resources are already scarce. But given what the plan must do to deliver housing and jobs, it does as well as possible to minimise bad impacts and maximise good ones. Some of the plan's policies are very innovative, like those on local employment, electric vehicles and car-free housing. This video is also new. It's the first time that the non-technical summary of a sustainability appraisal has been made into a video. Please tell us what you think about the plan and the related reports. They are all available on the Oxford City Council website and help to shape the future of this beautiful, growing, exciting city.